Welcome to dentReviews. Today I want to do a review of the Slimfold SoftShell Micro Wallet, or Micro SoftShell Wallet. This is one of the newer wallets from Slimfold. It's a newer material design on the same physical layout design of the older Tyvek wallets that they have. And those are here. This is the black and orange stitching Tyvek. They have different color options on both models actually. You can get different stitching colors and different wallet colors to kind of somewhat customize them a little bit. I had originally had an orange Tyvek wallet and then replaced it with the black Tyvek as that one fell apart. Unfortunately, one of the failings of the Tyvek wallets is while they're incredibly rip-proof, and even when they're worn out, you can't rip them easily. They're very strong and durable in that regard. They're not very good in terms of abrasion resistance. As you can see, the edges of the wallet, they wear out, and they wear out pretty quickly for me. For me, I'd say I got about, I'm going to say maybe a year out of this wallet as it is now. My last wallet, the orange one, I had for about a year and a half, maybe closer to 2. And what happened on that wallet is all the abrasion areas here basically formed holes, and I could literally put my finger through the wallet at many points, causing a problem with this pocket here. It became too loose, so cards would just fall out of it. And then along the lined edge of the wallet, it had holes forming. So it got to the point where I just felt like A, it was a little bit on the side of risking losing things that are in the wallet, and B, it just looked really bad, really ruddy. This one here is already looking pretty ruddy, but it is black, so it might be a little bit more prone to showing wear than the other colors, just because it's a higher contrast against the wear and the black. Some people might like that. Anyway, what I like about this wallet so much is how slim it is. Here is a stack of 10 cards, give or take one, and you can see the wallet is thinner than the cards themselves. So, I like this wallet in terms of form factor. It's probably my favorite layout in terms of the interior design. It's simple. You would think designing a wallet is an easy thing, and maybe it is, but I think Dave over at Slimfold really nailed the form factor and the layout design, because what you end up with is a very slim wallet with very minimal layers. In other words, there's only a few layers of fabric in this wallet. There's maybe 4 layers: the back, the inner pocket, the back of the inside, and then the front. So what that means is, with the thin material especially, there's not much stacked on top of each other. He could have easily added multiple pockets, but it would have added layers of material. So what he did instead was he chose to do angled slots. Now the slots are inside each other. They don't have separate pocket, fabric, but because the pockets are slotted at different dimensions or different, widths from the edge, it allows you to have a card in one slot and then a card in another slot, and they become incredibly easy to differentiate. It's not at all difficult, and that adds organization to the wallet while keeping the wallet slim. Now, because those slots theoretically might allow cards to slide out, because they might be a little on the looser side, which has not been a problem in my experience, but because that's possible, he designed them to slide out towards the inside of the wallet. So now you have cards that, if they did slide out, they're not going anywhere. So when you open your wallet, the worst that's going to happen is your cards are still there. They're not going to slide up or down or out. They're going to just slide towards the inside of the wallet. So with that design, you get a little bit of organization. For such a slim wallet, it's a pretty good amount of organization. And you get your ID visible, and you get 2 sort of more hidden pockets in the back, and you get a cash billfold area. So you get pretty much, in my opinion, all the necessary items for a wallet from my personal criteria in a very compact and minimal form. So I think he aced that. So awesome job there, Dave. But again, the problem with this wallet was just the durability over time. So after my second wallet, which cost $20 each plus shipping, I kind of just felt like they weren't worth the value. And I don't want to say that, because there's part of me that still thinks this is the best wallet. And I really like the feel and the slimness of the paper Tyvek wallets. I like it a lot in this series. However, for 2 years of use, $20, that's $10 a year. That's probably the most I'd get out of it, so it might be even worse than that. That doesn't include shipping. So you're probably talking about no matter what, at least $20, so probably $10 a year at minimum for me. Well, I could buy a leather wallet and have it for 20 years. So, yes, the leather wallet might cost $40, but that still turns out to be a lot more efficient in terms of cost per value. So, then you have this little model here, which, as you can see, is incredibly similar to the Tyvek in terms of its interior design and its layout. This is the SoftShell Micro Wallet. So it's not Tyvek. Instead, he opted to design or to source a material that is, I guess he calls it sort of like a technical jacket material. It's a very robust and rugged but thin fabric that is commonly used in clothing and things like that. I think he kind of described it as a mix between some material and Kevlar, where it's basically got a lot of the good durable properties while being flexible and soft. So what that does is it takes the idea of the Slimfold Tyvek and just upgrades the material, basically. Now, if you compare it closely, it may not look like much on camera, but it is a fraction of a hair thicker than the Tyvek, because this is just thin paper. This is fabric, so you do get a little bit more thickness, but I mean, we're talking like microns here, whereas the thickness between this and a leather wallet is enormous. So I don't really consider it practically any thicker than the Tyvek, especially if you're squishing them down to size there. It's hard to comparatively do this while I'm looking at the camera, but it may even come across looking thinner, but nonetheless it feels a little bit thicker in the hand. Not much, but just a little bit. And its layout is identical. One thing that they both do have is they have plastic inserts in the back. I guess you could say that's a fifth layer, but they have plastic inserts in the back, and what that basically does is it keeps the wallet at a rigid form, like the shape of the wallet stays sort of more rigid instead of just flopping around as much. But they don't add any real bulk or weight to the wallet, and they're very thin, they're not very heavy at all. Nonetheless, it is what it is. I think that it just adds structure to the wallet, and at a very, very minimal cost. So, again, the layout of this wallet is identical to the Tyvek in terms of its openings and its pocket layout, which there's not much more to say about that. I really think it's probably my favorite all-time wallet design. It gives you a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets for cards and a billfold area. So that's 6 total organization pockets, if you want to call it that. It's pretty impressive. So, what do I think about this material? I'm going to say that so far, it definitely seems to be more rugged than the Tyvek version. Now, I waited purposely for a month or two of daily use with this wallet before I did this review, because I kind of wanted to see if it showed any early signs of wear, if there was anything different in terms of how it worked and functioned, like the size of the pockets, the card, the blah, 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 blah. After giving it a little bit of time, I can say that functionality-wise, it's identical to the Tyvek. I still prefer the Tyvek in terms of its sheer feel. There's something about the more solid paper smoothness that I like. I don't know, it's just me. It slides in the pocket smoother because it's not fabric, it's smooth paper. And sliding the cards in and out is looser, which could be a con or a pro, but I think for me personally, I like this wallet. I don't know, there's something about it. But in terms of percentage, I think this is 99% the same thing. But the benefit now with this one is that I'm not going to have to replace it every 2 years. That's the idea anyway. So, how are the cards? Well, in this wallet, they're a little bit more firm to push in the slots, because as you can see, the slot is a little bit maybe bigger than the card. So what you have to do is you have to go in at a slight angle and push it in. Now, I find that in use, that's incredibly easy. I mean, it's really not hard at all. I'm doing this looking at the camera, and it's easy to insert the card. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's not really a problem. Does it feel as good? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it does. I still haven't had the wallet that long. I think the paper one is a little bit smoother maybe, but this one, you have the added benefit that is gripping the card. So the card is not going to slide out. Whereas maybe with enough cards in it, it wouldn't matter. But I feel like with the Tyvek wallet, you have a lot more chance that the card's going to slide out. It's just a slidey, smooth, loose fabric. I mean, not fabric, actually, paper. So the card just slides out. I'm not even really doing anything. Now, yes, this is a broken-in wallet, so it might be less when you get it new. And yes, you could argue that when you add other cards into the pocket, it might lessen that, see, because the thickness is less, but you can still shake them out. Whereas this wallet here, the soft shell version, it really when you put those cards in there, they just grab because the fabric has an elasticity to it. So I guess in that regard, I'd say I really do like the Micro SoftShell better. But because of that, it's just a little bit firmer of a feeling when you're inserting the cards, which be what it is. That might be something you prefer, maybe not. I think that overall, it's one of the easier wallets to use. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can have a wallet where you slide your card up or you pull it out or whatever. It's just you have a lot of surface area on this card, so it's very easy to pull that card out. It doesn't take any effort. Put it back in, pull it out, put it behind that one, pull the one behind out. It just doesn't require any effort because you have enough grip on the card, and that happens in both pockets. You still have enough surface area to grab with your thumb. I think that might seem simple, but it really does make the cards easier to get in and out. Just very simple. And in the back of the wallet, that might be a little bit more difficult to get in and out because they're behind the other flap, but I mean, you can see it's still very easy to put that card in and out. So if you were to take a bright card, as you can actually see here, you just push the card in, and you can't pull it out as easy maybe inside because it might hit the edge of the wallet unless you kind of fold it open like that. But even then, you really kind of want to push it back and pull it out like that. That's how I find is the easiest. So just push the card out a little bit and pull it out. So it's very easy. It's not difficult. When the wallet is full, everything becomes a little bit more rigid, and I find that it's pretty easy to manage my cards. With that said, going back to the fabric, I think that the durability of the fabric, whether you like it or not, is kind of outweighed by the fact that you're going to have a much better value in terms of your wallet. To get a couple years out of a $20 wallet, that's okay. This is $45, but if you got 5 years out of this, it's going to pay for itself. In fact, you could get 10 years out of this. I really don't know. Time will tell. If I only get a couple years out of this, then I would say I'd rather buy the paper Tyvek. That's just my personal opinion. It's nothing against the fabric. I like it. It's very nice. But a lot of this comes down to value for me. I just really don't think any wallet is worth $10 a year. And maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, and maybe I'm crazy and I'll keep buying the Tyvek paper after this one fails. But if this doesn't fail and it has a good value, if I can get this for, let's say, $5 a year or less, at that point I think it's where the wallet is definitely worth the value because of the functionality and the slimness and the weight and the minimalism. So I think that realistically speaking, most people are going to get about probably 8 cards into this wallet. Let me just show you here. I'm kind of not looking at the camera. Okay, so 1, 2, and these are all plastic cards here. So regular plastic, 3, 4, and these are 2 paper cards, kind of in the place of 1 plastic card. So 5, 6. These are thick paper. 7. So that's 7 cards there. And 8, 9. Okay, so that's 9 plastic cards. And then the wallet comes with this little emergency contact sheet that you can fill out. It's kind of a thin, well, it's actually a thicker paper card, but it's thinner than a plastic card. So I'm going to put all that in there. Let me just throw some of this in the back, just so you have something in the back here. Maybe like a gift card. You don't need that right away, so you kind of throw it in the back. So you have 2 cards in the back, the rest in the front. All right, so I lost count already. I think that was 9 cards. So you can see the thinness of the wallet. I mean, it's thinner than my finger, and it's just very compact. It's barely anything other than the dimensions of the cards and just a little bit of fabric. It's a little bit of flex in the seam here, you can see, so it allows for a little bit of expansion. And what I mean by that is, as you add cards, the wallet gets thicker this way, so that seam, you know, needs to stretch out as you put cards in. But what that allows you to do is you really could overfill this wallet a little bit if you wanted to, and you may stretch the fabric after a while, but I think comfortably, in my opinion, you can get about 10 cards in this wallet. Now, it comes in this package here, just to show you the package. This is the Tyvek package, this is the soft shell. They're both very minimal, which some people actually, I think, probably complain about that, but I like it. I mean, what do you need? It's a wallet. It comes in this sleeve. You don't waste anything. Don't have extra fancy material that you throw away. It's kind of, it serves its purpose if you want to put the wallet back in here and protect it. So I think the packaging is actually very good. That's my opinion. So the Tyvek is really light and thin, and it's waterproof, which is awesome, rip-proof, which is awesome. It says it holds 10 cards plus an ID. There's two slots, 2 pockets, blah, 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 blah. So it also has no animal products used, and there's a lot of recyclability in there. So that's very nice too. They're also designed in California and made in the USA, which is pretty cool. The soft shell, it says it holds 8 cards, but it could put up to 12 plus. And again, I kind of said that, comfortably you might fit 8 in there. But another thing you have to consider is, are you going to have anything else in the wallet? Like I would normally put, a couple bills in here. And then sometimes I usually will fold up receipts and I'll place them on one side like that. Just because receipts don't go in easy any other way. So what happens at that point is, and these are some wrinkly bills, sheesh. I still think it's incredibly slim, and I think it looks great, it fits great, and it works great. But you can start to see the shape of the wallet is starting to change a little bit. And I think that any more than that, and it really does feel a little bit bulky in your hand, and then you kind of defeat the purpose of the organization too, because if you have 3 cards in each slot, that's not too bad. You can kind of find one here, there, here, or even like, again, these are where I like these slots. You have this gap here because of the separation where you can easily get the one in the back, so that's kind of nice. So you kind of start to limit your organization simplicity because you have 4 cards in each slot. It becomes difficult to really get to the one you want. It becomes thicker, a little bit more bulky, and the wallet becomes a little bit tighter as you close it. So you'll start to feel that the wallet, you can see even with the cards I have in here, the wallet kind of tends to open on itself, which isn't bad, especially when it's on the table. It's only doing it a fraction of the amount that you see when I hold it like that. Probably more like that. So yeah, I guess I could see why he recommends that. But you could technically fit a couple more cards in here, and then when you shut it, here, let me just go ahead. I'm going to put in 4 more plastic cards in here. These are my personal cards just to show you. Alright, so this is with 4 more cards in there. Now, even then, it's still incredibly slim. This is about the size of probably a thin leather wallet with nothing in it. And you can see that it's got a good design because of the shape, allowing it to flex like that. It just makes the cards fit pretty well. However, again, what I was saying is now it's very bulky and it's not as convenient. So, I would recommend personally, like I was saying before, probably 9 or 10 cards max. Maybe even less than that if you carry a lot of bills, because bills start to take up a lot of space too as you fold them. So if you're going to put like $10 or $15 bills in there, you might want only 6 to 8 cards. And a lot of this is just opinion. You might find that 12 cards works great. You don't mind the added bulkiness because you slide it in your pocket and it keeps it shut and it works good for you. You might find this is too thick. You want something that's only 4 cards thick. But that's what's great about this wallet, is there's a lot of flexibility. Now, I've tried a lot of different wallets. I have an Wallet Micro, it's like a ripstop nylon wallet, and I like that a lot. It's got a good feel. I probably prefer the feel of that wallet over any other wallet, except the fact that the design causes it to be very flimsy and crinkly. Like you could roll it up in your hand into a ball, which some people might like that, but I like the stability and the rigidity of this wallet more. It just makes it easier to use, in my opinion. The Wallet's a very good alternative, and it seems to be holding up well. I think that's probably the direct competitor to this, in my opinion, for the most minimal, durable wallets. So, if you look at leather wallets, there are some leather options out there that are slim, but they get very expensive very quickly. So I think when you look at what you're getting in terms of durability, portability, and functionality, this hits a pretty good price point, honestly. And I think that Dave over there at Slimfold is easy to talk to. I've had some communications and emails with him. They have good support. I don't think they're over there trying to rip people off. I think they're just trying to build a good product. Design it well. I think he does most of this stuff on his own, or at least with a very small team. So I think that given all of the criteria I said, this is probably what I would say is the best minimal wallet that there is. That's my personal opinion. It gives me everything that I want to tick off on my checklist. It gives me a full-size bill fold, so you don't have to fold your bills. Although there is a nano version of this wallet that's even shorter if you don't mind folding your bills. It makes it even a little bit smaller. It has multiple pockets for organization. It's lightweight and thin. so it doesn't take up your pocket space. It doesn't add a huge bulky wad in your pants. It really just nails every point of it. And as far as I can tell, the durability is much improved over the Tyvek, so you get a nice looking wallet that's going to last long and serve you well in the minimal form. So I highly recommend this wallet. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I think it's also very water resistant because it's fabric. It's not probably waterproof, but I have seen photos of water beading off of it. So I think if it got wet, it would be very easy to just brush it off and you have no damage to anything inside your wallet. Although I don't see why many people would have their wallet out in their hand while it's raining. It doesn't really seem to matter to me, probably. If it was leather and you had to take your wallet out while it was raining, you might worry about damaging the leather, but with a little bit of water, I don't think there's anything to worry about with this. And because it's fabric, and I believe I'm pretty sure it's machine washable. I haven't had to double check that, but it is, yep, machine washable. If you do have a dirty job where you're getting mud all over it or whatever, you can go home, you can throw it in the machine, wash it. You can probably wash it in the sink pretty easy too. I like the color options. Has a little bit of flair to the wallet. It's kind of nice. They have a blue and an orange. They look pretty nice. There's also slightly different tones of the gray and black. I'm going to lighten up the camera here. Hopefully I can show you a little bit more accurately. This is just me looking through the camera. I think in real life it probably has sort of slightly more towards that appearance where you can see sort of a haziness to it in the light, which is kind of nice looking actually. And it's a very dark gray or light black. So that's the Slimfold Micro SoftShell Wallet along with the Tyvek wallet. I was going to do a review on this, but really I would say this review is identical for both wallets. The main difference would be the pockets don't grip as much in this one, and this one's not as durable. But otherwise, they're fairly identical in terms of the design, the stitching, the wallet shape, the pockets, everything else. So that is the Slimfold Micro SoftShell. If you have any questions at all, just please leave them below. And if you like this stuff, please subscribe. It does help me out, and I'll keep posting good videos of reviews, as much detail as I can. And again, as always, thank you guys for watching.